Good day, my YouTube friends. So I'm cruising down the road, and usually this train that I'm going to catch here is past here at this time and on its way back to CSX. But I got lucky today. We are on the Chestersecondary. It is part of Conrail, which Conrail still retains ownership to this track. There are several tracks in this area that Conrail still owns and still operates, because when the split happened, nobody wanted these tracks. They're mostly, it's a secondary, industrial, and CSX didn't want to bother with this. Norfolk Southern does come down here and service some of this area. But yeah, this is, so let's go outside. So you can see the far track over on the right is the secondary, and these tracks closest to us were a spur that went and fed industry down the line there. So at one point, you can see through the trees there, sorry for shaking this, that building, several other buildings over there. These buildings here, at one time, were the home of Baldwin Locomotive Works. Beyond that building there still stands the Baldwin building. We'll take you over there later. So these tracks are Pennsylvania Railroad and Reading Railroad. Further north on this line, over the Darby Creek, stands two drawbridges. The Pennsylvania owns one, which is still in use today, and the Reading owned the other, which is no longer in use. Conrail abandoned that years and years ago. Conrail still runs this track. They still own this track. They still own several miles of track in this area. This track runs from Philadelphia East Side Yard, CSX, to Claymont, Delaware. It connects up with the Northeast Corridor, which is just beyond that building there. Right there. Just beyond there is the PRR Northeast Corridor. Well, PRR old tracks, but it is the home of the Northeast Corridor, Amtrak and SEPTA. So I know this train is just hanging out down there, so we're just going to wait for him. I don't know why he waits here. I guess for, to get clearance to go over Eastwick Secondary or Chestersecondary. You know, a lot of people say that from CP60, which is East Side Yard, to CP90 is still the secondary, but people say it's East Side Secondary or something like that. It's where SEPTA travels for the commuter train to the airport. So these trains have to coordinate with SEPTA during the daylight hours when the trains run, the SEPTA trains. They have to coordinate with SEPTA to travel along the same exact rail that SEPTA commuter trains operate on. It's under overhead, and so they just have to sit here and just wait for clearance. We'll catch them when they move out. Here they go, creeping up. Yesterday they had, usually they just have two engines. Yesterday they had three. They had two SD40s and a GP38. And looks like they had three again today. I don't know if it's because the train's been so big. Really don't know. Nice little GP40. That's pretty cool. So what's along this this route is mostly chemical companies. Well, the sun's just right today, man. It's supposed to be 19 out with the wind chill, but it doesn't feel like it. I don't know. I like those tank cars with the rail up top. Ah, it's a short train. Get to going. So this is the Baldwin building. Still standing. I don't know what they do with it. Yeah, I have no idea what they do with it. If there's people in there, businesses, but they call this Baldwin Park, I think. But that's the Baldwin building. Still standing. So you can see the stacks where we were on the other side. And those buildings over there, sorry for the sun, were probably part of the Baldwin Locomotive Works too. All this area was probably at one time nothing but those type buildings, building and producing steam locomotives for everyone around the world. I hope you enjoyed this little trip down memory lane and on the secondary. Till the next time, see ya.